Chamber Orchestra kicks off today's show, and we'll tell you why it's harder to get into college today than it was 50 years ago.
What's it like for transgender athletes caught between what they know and school rules that don't accommodate them?
This is the Mustang Morning News from Maricosta High School.
The Mustang Morning News is a public forum for student expression. Students make all content decisions, and opinions do not necessarily represent those of the Manhattan Beach Unified School District.
The Chamber Orchestra kicks off today's show, and we'll tell you why it's harder to get into college today than it was 50 years ago.
What's it like for transgender athletes caught between what they know and school rules that don't accommodate them?
This is the Mustang Morning News from Maricosta High School. Good morning, Costa. Today is Thursday, February 13th. I'm Molly Roskin.
And I'm Walker Watson.
Thanks to the Chamber Orchestra for playing Marry You by Bruno Mars for us today. Check out our Instagram at Mustang Morning News to hear them play Bésame Mucho by Consuelo Velasquez.
Speaking of Instagram, open up the app now because the Costa Quiz is back. Here's a reminder on how to play.
Go to @Mustang Morning News and leave a comment with your teacher's name and your answer.
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, a holiday invented in 496 by the Romans. Today's question is, who receives the most Valentine's Day cards? The answer choices are A, children, B, teachers, C, wives, and D, mothers. He'll comment on our Instagram now.
It's hard enough to make a sports team at Costa, but what if you made the wrong team and it was the fault of the governing sports organization? CIF enforced a new rule stating that all players must play as the sex they were originally born as, regardless of which gender they identify as.
Juliana Sherino and Zach Davis talked to Peter Earhart about how this new rule affects their lacrosse career.
Hi, I'm Peter. I'm a transgender athlete at Maricosta. I'm a sophomore. I identify as male.
Transgender athletes play for the team of their assigned birth sex unless they are taking hormone pills. Due to seen advantages of different gender body types, it is seen as an unfair advantage for someone born as a male to play for a women's team. For this reason, players must play for the team of the gender they were born as.
The girls' team, everybody's really welcoming. It's a great community there, and I've not had to deal with anything like going to other schools and being called Peter on the field. And everybody's generally pretty okay with it. It's not my favorite thing to play on the girls' team, but I can't play on the guys.
It is seen that a male can produce 20 times the amount of testosterone that a woman does. The amount of testosterone that is produced directly affects muscle strength and growth, meaning the more testosterone, the better the growth and production of muscles. A federal law called Title IX was passed in 1972 to protect all genders against sexual bias and gives them the right to equal treatment. It states, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance."
It's pretty much just like fear of them not accepting me and the concept of people not like loving me for who I truly am.
Many law centers work with these athletes and advocate for their rights as transgender athletes to ensure equal treatment. Some states across the US are working towards entering the new generation of the diverse LGBTQ community and equal treatment. For the Mustang Morning News, this is Zach Davis and Juliana Shrino.
AP classes, SAT tutoring, meetings with your college counselor. Today, we see these things as being necessary for getting us into college.
50 years ago, the process wasn't nearly as involved. Molly Roskin and Quincy Crandall tell us about the evolution of college admissions.
Time-consuming.
It's kind of long, it's strenuous.
Tedious, nerve-wracking.
It's really expensive.
These are some words that high school students use to describe their experience of high school life and the college admissions process. But has it always been this way? Today, students spend months studying for entrance exams and stressing about their future in college. 40 years ago, applying to 5 colleges was plenty, but now 10 is only average.
Having put 2 kids through college myself and helping friends and relatives go through it, it's not nearly as stressful as it is today. I just can't imagine doing it, I just can't.
Since 1988, the average price for college at a private school has increased by 129%, and the price of public schools has increased by 213%. As these prices increase, college becomes even more out of reach for many. With the weight of college entrance exams, ever-decreasing admission rates, and skyrocketing tuition prices, the college application process puts a lot of pressure on high school students. Even though it's harder to get into now, kids today have so many other resources that past generations never did.
We didn't have counselors come. We didn't have people come from the colleges. We just kind of thought about where we did want to go and applied to those colleges.
With the World Wide Web allowing students to do extensive college research and even get online degrees, colleges are more easily accessible.
The internet has completely helped with getting into college, I would say. On websites you can look at pictures, you can see what majors and schools they have, what their application process is like. You can get all the information that you need.
Since its creation in 1975, the Common App has expanded from just 15 colleges to over 800. This increases accessibility of colleges to students and helps make them more aware of their options. However, accessibility isn't always such a good thing, as it creates more competition for students in the application pool. 45 years ago, about 80% of applicants got into their first choice college. In 2016, it dropped to 50%. The good news that we have for you is that there is a much wider variety of colleges than there used to be, and many schools such as the University of Chicago and Bowdoin are even becoming SAT and ACT optional.
You're going to find the right place, so it is worth the effort. You can do this, and there's support there to help you get through it.
For the Mustang Morning News, this is Molly Roskin and Quincy Crandall.
Hey Costa, I'm Evan Hurd with Beyond the Beach, bringing you stories from outside the bubble. You spend hundreds of dollars on application fees and sending test scores before you even get accepted into college, but that's only the start. In our new Point of View series, Oliver Kubios advocates for programs that support more than the cost of tuition.
College is expensive, really expensive. Student loan debt is at an all-time high, with 45 million Americans sharing a combined total of $1.5 trillion. Sure, these loans allow students to get through their education, but place them in an endless cycle of debt. Experts agree that in order to keep growing, the U.S. economy will need more workers with post-secondary degrees, but in the past 30 years, the cost of obtaining one has increased by 213%. There are programs in place to help students get an education for a reasonable price, but most of these only cover the cost of tuition expenses. Non-tuition costs, such as housing, books, and transportation, place an additional financial burden on students. The Student Expenses and Resources Survey, or SEERS, found that in California, non-tuition expenses average $18,000 per year. These costs exceed tuition costs of Cal State and UC schools, which range from $6,000 to $13,000 per year. The issue lies not only in the high cost of higher education, but also in where the money is going. A 2017 study by the Hechinger Report found that nearly 1 million low-income students who were eligible for financial aid never received it because states ran out of money. This comes after years of budget cuts from states and an increase in applicants for financial aid services. With more students wanting to go to college, there's simply not enough available funds for all students to get the help they need. Solutions for this crisis won't come from the institutions themselves. Colleges and universities around the country are benefiting off of these high costs, so change is unlikely to come from them directly. The cost to eliminate all college tuition would average around $70 billion a year. Whether it's the infamous free college we hear about, or more money being given out for financial aid, something needs to be done to fix this crisis.